I'm going to start. I got a beer. Here we go. 3, 2. Wow. Clean. Ooh. Delightful. Welcome in. Wow, that's actually got a little punch. No punts allowed. Adam and Paige. We are... What week is this? Week 12? It's week 12. Week 12 of the college... It is, right? Week 12 of the college football season.
Checking, just to make sure that we're... Yep, it is, in fact, week 12. Look at us.
God damn, that's a lot of weeks. We will talk playoff rankings. We will talk where we're going to be next week. We'll talk a little Thanksgiving. We'll talk Jimbo Fisher. First, I want to talk Municipal, our friends at Municipal. You like that? Like a little chapter I gave them, like installments of what's coming. A little preview. Knowing us, we'll be off the rails shortly. Municipal, our friends at Municipal. Great gear. I like this. I love this shirt. I was walking upstairs to grab podcast materials, and my daughter goes, "Dad, that's a really nice shirt," which she's never really said before.
Wow.
I'm also home, so I think everybody's just happy that I'm home.
And so they're just trying to like butter you up. She's going to ask for something later. She's like, "Dad, I saw this Christmas thing."
Yeah, but so Municipal, our friends, go to municipal.com, no punch 20 for 20% off your first order. It is great holiday wear. It's all-time wear. For me, I can wear it everywhere I go. If you're looking for gifts for somebody that's actually like nice clothes, nice stuff, shoes, you name it, municipal.com.
And our friend Mark Wahlberg was at the Netflix Cup featuring PGA Tour golfers and F1 drivers, which is like my favorite combination of things really ever. By the way, that was very chaotic. It was a very chaotic show, but I actually like appreciated the effort of Netflix to do something and like the bravery to do something like that in sports, in terms of live sports. But we will get to that when we get to random shit, which we have a lot today.
Lots of random shit. We have a lot of random shit. And I guess, though, we can start with, we can do whatever we want. But let's start with Jimbo Fisher, because I think it's the biggest story.
Is it? Well, I don't know if it's the biggest story. There's, America's team is the biggest story. But we'll wait for that.
I can't wait to talk about that. But let's talk about Jimbo. So
fine.
Jimbo Fisher is getting $76 million and change to go away. You know, it's funny, Paige, like we've been talking about this for so long that when it hit, it wasn't a surprise. But then when you look at how the money is going to be paid out in 19 point million in the next 60 days, and then these $7.5 million installments for, you know what? I don't want to hear dick about Bobby Bonnilla's contract as a Mets fan. I don't want to hear anything, okay? Because when I see these, it's Bobby Bonilla Day. No. I don't want to hear that shit anymore, okay? You're paying Jimbo like mega bucks forever to just chill. This contract now, we knew it was crazy. The lack of offset, right? So offset, you wonder why ESPN hires recently fired coaches, because they really can just pay them barely anything because they're offset language anywhere they go work, whether it's media or other coaching. Yeah, exactly. So there's no offset. So Jimbo could get a job, and he will get a job, most likely. He's still is a respected coach, even though it didn't work out there. Or he could sit on his fucking ass and read books on the beach all day, which I would do.
I would do as well. I think the other part of this that's absolutely hilarious is two-parter here. One, we have talked about ad nauseum, like when this is going to happen. We've said it's for sure going to happen after kind of the start of this season. Weird timing after like a big win, but it was like planned already that week. But the other part of this is that the athletic department presented a check at like halftime of said game that he was winning, for like $60 million to the athletic department from donors, which by the way is like partially going to cover this. So not only did they already plan on firing him, but they showed everybody, hey, look, we have the cash to do it. And then the next day did it. So that was pretty comical. All of it all together. I mean, it's sad when anyone loses their job, but like it takes the sting a little bit away when you're making literally $19 million in 60 days at minimum.
And that's just a little taste.
Yeah.
That's a little
what
teaser.
You're gonna get. And you've already been making money. Like that's just, overall, I don't feel terrible for Jimbo. And it also needed to happen. So
this is so far and away the worst contract ever handed out in sports coaching history financially. Gus Malzahn's buyout was what, like $20 million at Auburn? If we were appalled by that, this is, 300 plus X percentage. Like, this is wild.
It quadrupled it. Only in college football. I know people always joke that this sport or whatever for their sport. There's no sport that pays people more to not do their job than college football.
This is oil money. Paying someone to go away, and they're going to pay someone else. And this is the other part I want to talk about. To come in, and they're going to pay a staff, and there's now what happens is maybe more interesting. You have a roster full of really good potential players. Still hasn't come together, but there's a lot of really good players. They've got great wideouts and got great everything. Just they haven't won. So, what in a dream world, who are you hiring? Let's push aside a coach, because we can talk about this in a bit. You're hiring Lane.
Yeah, because and I think his answer to the game versus Georgia kind of is a reason why I would, is because he made a great point. He was like, look, we need to recruit better. And by that, he meant we need to spend more money on recruits and recruiting and getting guys to come here. Texas A&M doing that. Has the talent. Okay, I think yes, it would come with, and we'll obviously talk about Dan Lanning, but is Texas A&M still regarded in the same way as it, I feel like, used to be in terms of job openings, because of how much the donors are involved in this and want to be involved in this? And I don't know if Lane could maybe completely handle that. But in terms of if for Texas A&M, if you can get Lane, he's going to do a lot more than what you just experienced with Jimbo, and would do a much better job.
It is a complicated job for the reasons that you outlined. Mm-hmm. You've got to navigate all of those different things, right, that come with this. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking. I know all these sites always post the special, who's going to be the next coach odds, even though they're kind of bullshit. So I was looking to see if there are, and I'll look to see. But I do think Dan Lanning would be amazing.
Well, here's my thing: is the reason I said Lane. Sorry to interrupt you, but I was just going to say the reason I said Lane and not Dan Lanning is because I legitimately don't think they can get him. I think that job is not as enticing as it used to be, and I think Oregon is a better job than Texas A&M.
We'll talk about Lanning in a minute. I actually agree with you because of his answer. There's this, I wrote about this week on Bleacher Report, who I think would be a good candidate. So everyone go read that. Mm-hmm. But what's funny about that list, right? Because you've got Leopold, you've got Lanning, you've got names on there, the trailer, you've got good football coaches. Leopold's a great example of a really good football coach that I'm convinced you put him in any scenario. The guy turned around Kansas, he would turn around Texas A&M. But it doesn't have the same star power as a Lanning or some of the other names that we're going to talk about. So what I'm really curious to see how this goes, because today we're connecting Dabo Swinney. I saw this. They asked Dabo, would you have interest? And Dabo kind of just kicked the can around of this job. That would be hilarious, by the way.
Honestly,
it's maximum internet. I mean, please.
To be fair, I think that would be a decent match in terms of what they would want from a coach and how they want their coach to speak. With Lane, you obviously have some things that he's gonna say and do in that quirkiness that comes with that. With Dabo, yes, there's quirkiness, but it's the kind of quirkiness they like at Texas A&M. So I don't hate it. I don't know that he leaves Clemson, but Alabama's not happening for Dabo. So I don't think that that used to be the rumor, and now it's that's not really gonna happen. So why not? Why not? A little chaos. I mean, we thought, I think
I'm looking up odds.
Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame for LSU was probably one of the more shocking things we've ever seen. I think Dabo leaving for Texas A&M would be really, really shocking. And I would just be stunned if that happened. But if it does, I think it would be smart.
So the names, Jeff Traylor, 300. Obviously, Elko at Duke, plus 300. I think he'd be a really good hire. He's history there. DeBoer, the Washington coach. Did you see his comment the other night when they asked him? And he's like, well, the AD's working on keeping me here, my staff here for a really long time. He did the opposite of Dan Lanning. He was like, show me the money and I'll stay. It was kind of a weird quote. But genuinely, like, you could tell Lanning is like, this is my spot and everything else, the board not there.
Well, I actually know that they're full of, you know what, and they'll, listen to the opportunity and all those things.
Lanning's also going to get you don't say this unless you've got a fucking huge raise in your back pocket, which they're going to do. Like, you could say loyalty and I love it here, but like Phil Knight is just going to come in and be like, sir, here is your 8-year, $90 million, whatever it will be. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I do want to say, there's an article, and it is happening, that Arizona, the university itself, has mismanaged their budget by $250 million. Have you seen that?
It did.
Okay, and they were saying sports programs could be cut, but also there's a rumor that Jed Fish is about to get an extension and a raise. So they're figuring out a way to extend, which they need to, because he obviously were ranked in all of those things and have turned around this season in this program, really. But kind of hilarious that like money just like doesn't exist when it comes to like college football or just college athletics in general. Like, they will find a way. Like, we are off of our budget and having to cut all kinds of things, and they're like, you know what? We're still going to propose a raise and an extension for our head football coach.
This is kind of reminds me of like major companies where they're laying off people, and at the same time the CEO gets a raise, or they bring in some new person, they get a and I'm not defending this. I'm not defending this, but I am saying for this program to make money and to get other programs back, they need football to be great. So it's unfortunately, it's kind of the cost of doing business. That's a big fucking accounting error, by the way, Paige. I don't know.
I don't know how it happens.
That's a big one. Like, whoops, forgot to carry the one. We owe $250 million.
Yeah, so oopsie.
Because he's doing great. Like, he could be a candidate at A&M. All seriousness. Like, he's a Belichick guy who's done a tremendous job. Like, not just this year, but
from us. Don't put that out there.
No, but like, by the way,
don't worry about your own team and your coaching situation, okay? And your players leaving.
The odds to me that are most interesting. So Lane Kiffin right now, 25-1. That feels off. I agree with you. Lane's a good candidate. You've got PJ Fleck on here at 15-1. No thanks. You've got Cliff Kingsbury on here at 17-1.
No. God.
No. Just no. We gotta clip that. Oh God, no. That was great. Oh God. Mike Norvell at 30-1, I think makes a shit ton of sense. Mike Norvell is stuck in the ACC. He's got a potential playoff team. He's got a roster that's going to largely go to the next level, right? I don't know all of them, but I know that King Coleman is gone, and a lot of those pieces are gone. Mike Norvell, I think, would be a great hire. I think he's a great coach. I think that Florida State's a great program, obviously. They'll pay him. He's gone from like hot seat to like, oh my God, this guy can leave in about 15 months. I think it'd be awesome at A&M. I would really like that hire the more I thought about it. And I think it could happen. So either way, A&M's going to get everybody paid because all these coaches on here are going to get raises. So congrats, coaches, on this is what you need for this kind of job. It's just some team with a lot of money to come in and then go boom. I know we want to talk rankings, but let's talk a little bit about other jobs. We went from like no firings to a fair amount. Boise State is open. Mississippi State, a little bit of a surprise. 1 year, not only 1 year, but man, you fire the dude that you threw into these impossible circumstances with leash passing. I get it. It's business, but it still is a cruel business. I didn't love that.
Yeah, no, that one was cruel. Also, did you see the current Liberty coach?
Chadwell?
Yes, he's
quote
tweeted And his location on the quote tweet was Starkville, Mississippi.
No way. Oh, that would be a tremendous hire.
It would be, and it probably is going to happen, but he like quote tweeted something about being at like a, you know how coaches do like their radio shows or like meet and greets on like Wednesdays? It was like, see y'all there, and the location was Starkville, Mississippi. Like, buddy, you learned a valuable lesson today.
I did not see that. That's great.
It is hilarious. That's peak college football Twitter, though, that somebody noticed.
That would be a tremendous hire, by the way. That dude won at Coastal, one big at Libertyville. Liberty. I think Libertyville is my rival town.
Libertyville.
Shout out Libertyville. Yeah, it's been a long week, long month, long week. Brady Hoke is retiring at San Diego State, and then the other ones now we're on firing watch. It sounds like Chip Kelly's getting fired. Basically, is what we read today.
Which is like hilarious because every year we're like, where in the world is Chip Kelly? Like, we haven't really heard from him. He literally coaches at one of like the like more blue blood football programs, and like we just hear nothing. Yeah, I'd be very interested to see who they could get, especially moving conferences. Yeah, I'm actually pretty interested to see how that all plays out. Also,
Sam Pittman.
Yeah, that makes me sad. That hurts. I do want to say, I don't know if this is not in the rundown, but did you see, speaking of the Pac-12 and it being dismantled, did you see that Washington State and Oregon State won their appeal to be in charge of the board in full? Okay, which also means that they have the right to disqualify every other team that is leaving the conference from this year's conference championship.
Yes.
Not that they would do that, but like, how funny would that be? Because
you're just like, nope. You're
like, nope, sorry, Oregon and Washington, you wanted to play again to prove that you deserve to be in the playoff? Psych, you can't.
I mean, your sport could never. Our sport.
I know.
We're paying like yachts to people to go away. We've got teams like injecting chaos. I mean,
that could be. I mean, I don't think they're going to do it, but honestly, I would respect, straight up respect. And the other thing is, it'd be a little sad because like Arizona still like technically there is a way that they could end up in the championship game. People would have to lose, but how cool would it be to be like the last? I'm taking this from my brother. I'm gonna give him credit for it. To be the last, like, it's like, who was the last person to win the Pac-12 and, like, Pac-12 football championship? And everyone's going to guess Oregon, USC, all these things, and they have to say Arizona. That'd be so sick. Or Washington or Oregon State. Washington State or Oregon State, because
I cannot wait to talk about that game. I cannot wait. I just filmed a video on it. I cannot wait. But we should talk about the playoff rankings. So I was at a retirement dinner last night. I didn't get to, but they had it out of the bar. This is a little, so I'm like, someone's talking to me. I'm at this dinner. I'm like, yes, and like I'm looking in the corner as like, is Georgia going to be number one?
Yeah,
and they're like, what are you looking at? And they turn and they know me and College. I'm like, oh, okay. Why didn't you just tell me to leave you alone? Well,
yeah,
fair enough. So playoff rankings happened. Georgia is number one. None of this matters, but I think this is the right time and the right call to make a change. You and I haven't talked about this at all, which is funny because next week we're going to talk about it a lot.
I would say that I think that last week would have been the move for me for Georgia. This last week obviously propelled them forward, but I am still just so pissed about Florida State over Washington. Like, I know people have been like, oh, you know, Washington's been disrespected, and people have been like, oh, they've played bad after that Oregon win, blah, 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 all of that. Well, look at how they ranked Louisville. Like, they have no respect for the ACC. Okay? None whatsoever.
I'll saw them too.
But like, okay, so you don't have respect for them, but you have respect for Florida State? Or how about just say you want that brand to be in, and so what you're going to do is you're going to keep them in there until they lose, which I don't know if Louisville can beat them. I hope that they can, because I don't think they deserve to be in the playoff, because we had this conversation. Most deserving, best 4 teams, all of that. Like, Washington deserves to be at 4 instead of Florida State. And I mean, I could argue that Oregon deserves to be at 4 instead of Florida State, even though they have a loss. It's annoying the crap out of me. The other thing that's annoying me, I'm almost done. Last thing that's annoying me is that they're still considering that head-to-head versus Bama and Texas. Alabama is the better team. Currently, right now. I know they're getting Quinn Ewers back. I get it. Alabama's a better team, and if this goes week by week, we should be moving Alabama above.
Now, the beauty of this fucking racket of a system is that none of it matters.
Yep.
And I say that because, so this week, Washington plays Oregon State. If they beat Oregon State, they're going to be number 4, in my opinion. They will. That's a brutally tough road game. But they better
be. They better be, or the committee will hear it from me, and we're going to be live when we see this. So you know what? The reaction will be fire.
And we go to Adam.
Catch us on Max. They're like, cut Paige's mic, cut her mic.
Yeah, and technical difficulties. And then with Alabama, it's like, obviously they play, is it Chattanooga this week? It's chicken shit Saturday in the SEC. Although Georgia's playing Tennessee. And then and then they play Auburn, which is okay. And then if you beat Georgia, you're gonna jump. You're gonna keep going. So I get what you're saying. And then of course Ohio State, Michigan, like that whole thing still has to happen. Oh my God, I can't wait. So I'm just yes. And I wanted so I was looking at the rankings, right? So if you look right now, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Florida State, Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Missouri, Louisville's the 10th team. And then you have Oregon State, you have Penn State, you have Ole Miss. And we officially cut it off at Alabama and say after 8, nobody's getting in. Does Oregon State still have a say in this potential? Like, where do we stop? Because I think at 8 we feel pretty comfortable stopping.
I just if they beat Washington and Oregon, I don't
think they beat Oregon.
No, but I'm saying hypothetical there, like, you have to consider them for the playoff. The problem is going to be that they will, the thing that will save them is that they will play in a conference championship and one of Michigan and Ohio State won't, would be what happens. So
you'd have, and they'd have 2 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're toast.
Yeah.
So well, I don't want to say toast because then all of a sudden shit goes wrong. So they beat Washington, they beat Oregon. Let's do the hypothetical.
I think they're in if they beat Washington, Oregon, and you win the Pac-12 championship. They have to be considered. And I'm saying the reason, even with 2 losses, the difference is going to be that Michigan or Ohio State won't play in their championship game. So if you have a 2-loss Pac-12 champion and say, I actually don't think they'd get in because Florida State is probably only going to have 1 loss maybe at the most. And then you get, I think they'd maybe put Ohio State or Michigan in, even though they're the Pac-12 champs with 2 losses, which is what happened last time. So actually, no, I don't think they have a chance. Now that I talked that through, that was a roller coaster. Wow.
No, but I love this shit. You and I.
This is annoying. This is so annoying.
Well, we do our live show. We're going to do it next week. Like, we could do this for 2 hours and go through the hypotheticals because they are robust.
Yeah. So let me say this. There are some people that have been tweeting about the 12-team playoff and being like, I can't believe you guys want this. This is why I want this, is because it gives an opportunity for Oregon State to be in and play those teams and get a chance to actually go forward. When if you end a season on a heater and you get better, it allows them to play and play for something worth playing for. Sorry, no offense to bowl games.
No, but okay, I have thoughts about this, and we're gonna write about this at some point at BR too. You and I have been talking there's gonna be some sort of 12-team playoff celebration, maybe next week. At our core, we love football. We love good football. We love good football against teams, between teams that don't normally play each other year over year. We love teams to play early on in the season better games because that's great, because I'm so tired of these fucking cupcake games. The 12-team playoff gives us everything we want and more. It doesn't make the end of the season less interesting. It makes it more interesting. Sure, it gives some teams near the top who are already going to be in. They're in. We can have this conversation in a couple of weeks anyway. We've had no drama. We have 10 years of this. We said the conference championship weekends have largely been duds overall. We've got some exceptions, USC, different things like that. But I get so tired of this because every bracket I see, and I post about this, people are like, yeah, I can't believe. Bring back the BCS. No, fucking sir, go back to your goddamn flip phone. Get the razor out, you fucking loser.
When Kramer's insulting people over the type of phone that they have, you know it's bad. You know it's bad.
Hey, yeah, that's true. It's a hierarchy. How's it feel? It feels pretty good, gotta say. I do not understand the argument. More isn't always more. But in this instance, more is more. More is better. More will be cleaner. And you're exactly right. Look at the teams in looking at this that would be involved, right? You've got Notre Dame at 19 in theory that have the chance. Now, people are going to argue, no, they shouldn't. No, I'm going to argue that, yes, they should. You're going to get more fan bases engaged, and you're going to get more of this. This is such a good thing. Well, I can't wait.
And as as NIL and everything, transfer portal and recruiting starts to shift and kind of even itself out, there will be schools that are certainly powerhouses in recruiting and can get people to come there. But I think the level of play, we've already seen it with certain schools being able to compete, that it's not going to be complete blowouts. Like everyone's like, oh, it's just going to be blowouts of the good teams. Well, guess what? The good teams get buys first week. So it'll be fine.
I'm sorry. I don't know how we got into this. I didn't mean to. I can't help myself. Let's talk about Jim Harbaugh.
Gee, okay. I'm so glad you brought it up.
There's a lot here. Okay, that game, first off, I know we like always struggle with our show as a recap show, as a look ahead. We largely is a look ahead because we record later in the week. And even though you and I haven't forgotten about the football games, a lot of people are thinking about this.
Yeah.
That game was hilarious. They ran the ball 415 times in a row. Your interim coach is dropping F-bombs after the game and crying. Everybody is galvanized for Harbaugh, even though they cheated. Like, this is great. This is truly great. Like, there is a cult of interest in this Michigan team, and Michigan is so convinced that it's us versus the world that I actually think it's going to help them. The punishment is stupid. You can still coach the team during the week. The whole thing is a disaster, and I absolutely love it. So when Harbaugh says it's America's team, do you think deep down he knows that he's going to say this and it's going to piss everybody off? Is he that self-aware or no?
No, he just truly believes that. He truly believes that they are facing adversity that has nothing to do with anything that they have done. Okay? So two things can be true. One, I think this suspension is bullshit. I don't think he should have been suspended. I know that they cheated, all these things, whatever. This in the middle of the season, trying to like put the hammer down before we've even gotten through the process of figuring out all of the details of it, like, I think it's kind of ridiculous. The other part that can be true is that this is so annoying. Like, it's Cornball City. Like, Michigan is no longer in Ann Arbor. It is in Cornball City. This is so cheesy. So, and I love, don't get me wrong, I love a try hard. Like, I do. I think it is fine that people do that. Jim Harbaugh is the coach of my team. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. Like, I'm all in. Okay, cool. This is another level of delusion that, like, I genuinely believe that he's always been a bit of an oddball. This is so strange. So you could literally look into the camera and be like, oh, yeah, I think we're America's team. Like, what? No, America's team. I'm sorry, but right now, in my opinion, America's team is Ohio State, because if they beat you, then you go away and I don't have to hear about it anymore, okay? You leave for the NFL and I don't have to worry about it. So my America's team is Ohio State. So it's so ridiculous.
To look and be like, this is America's team, and then like turn to another camera, right? And then mouth, and I have to say what I'm doing. I sometimes forget that this is an audio podcast. Yeah. We also on video. I want him just to mouth quietly like, this is America's team. Fuck you. Like, I want him to do that because that's what he's doing. I love him. I do. I can't help it.
I mean, even if he didn't know exactly what was happening and how it was happening, he knew that they were getting their signals. So I don't, like, this is not, I'm not like, oh, well, it was him. And like, I'm so sorry, but
he's a brilliant football coach. He knows.
A brilliant like spin artist as well. Like he should work in PR because he would be great at taking anything and spinning it into what he wanted everyone to think and believe. It is so wild to me. And the fact that like this is still continuing, and the fact that the Big Ten made it worse by suspending him, like you are lighting, like you've just dumped gasoline and lit the fire. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And like to your point, like it's gonna make them better. Like those guys are legitimately like using this as bulletin board. Why am I blanking on what the word is? Bulletin board material. There we go. I was ranting so hard.
The only thing that could slow you down is one word: material.
The material.
By the way, it is also hilarious that they disrespect Penn State so much that they're like, we're gonna run fucking 2 yards a pop every play and punt it, and Drew Aller is gonna do some dumb shit, which he did. I mean, that was funny. Also, like, I was covering that game. Shout out to the speed of that game. My God, that was a fast football game. That was a nooner, and that thing was over in like a 2:45. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, the whole thing is just laughable. But again, like only in this sport do you get people getting in trouble for shit they probably shouldn't be getting in trouble for, and people basically acting like they died and being like, "Oh my gosh, like for him, we're waiting for him." Like, what is happening? Yeah. Like, good. You know what? To be fair, if I was in that situation, like, I probably would be the person to, like, hide my guys up. But, like, again, you guys cheated. I saw someone tweet that was like, adversity is not being caught cheating. Like, that doesn't count as adversity. But the Big Ten made it look that way. So This is now stupid and lame. And I hope the other Big Ten coaches are fucking happy for complaining and whining. And I need Ohio State to beat them so this goes away because I'm over it. I'm done.
On the topic of the Big Ten, Northwestern is naming David Braun, the interim coach, the head coach. You know what? I bet Wisconsin last week against Northwestern.
Oh,
that might be the worst bet I made all year. Me too, buddy.
You ruined all my parlays. I was in Arizona.
Oh,
and
so
I
bad.
Was going ham on some crazy parlays. One of them, I the only leg that I lost was Wisconsin.
It was bad. It was Wisconsin's a mess. We could spend time talking about that. But good for this guy. I know there's a lot of that. They might make a bowl. I mean, who do they play? They're what, 5-5? I mean, that is pretty incredible. So they are 5-5. They play Purdue at home, and they play at Illinois. So you can win one of those games. This is deserved. I was curious, you know, I forget who wrote this on Twitter today. This interim situation is always odd. You have a coach that catches lightning in a bottle, and he should be rewarded for that. But it's such a snapshot of being a good coach. And by all accounts, he's done a wonderful job. Actually, good for Northwestern for rewarding it. It's still bizarre that in this 10-game snapshot, you change this dude's life forever. Great for him, great for the program. Again, they've been light years better than what we thought. And but what will it look like in 3 years? Who knows? But happy for him. Happy for the program. They've been through some shit. That is program. No small program. It's so happy for that. Dan Lanning, back to Dan Lanning. We kind of danced around him, then we'll talk about the actual football games. If you've not seen Dan Lanning's response to the opening at Texas A&M, go watch it. Dan Lanning is a really interesting guy. I was critical of him earlier in the year because some of the things he said didn't always hit the right notes. I love this dude. I think that he's going to stay, but I don't know if I've ever heard a more emphatic, personal denial of wanting another job.
Yeah.
Now, you've seen this before. Brian Kelly has done this. Other coaches are doing it. It's a really hard position when you ask a coach, are you going to take this job?
And they're like currently coaching
normally you're like,
another team.
Well, you know, maybe. So I think this guy is a star. I think he's a star. He could be a star at Oregon. Going to the Big Ten, I think, only helps his star power. Not that the Big Ten is some, but they're going to get some really good games against really good teams. He's 37. He just seems like he'd be fucking fun to play for. Like I am like maximum amount of Dan Lanning stock, and like you look at their natty odds right now, they're 8-1 to win. I'm buying that too. Like, I am digging what this dude is saying and what he's doing as a football coach.
Oh, me too. And we've talked about this. Hand up, Vegas Oregon hater. But
Yep.
I appreciate what he's doing. I defended him even when you didn't. I just want to remind you about the locker room. Yeah, you were tough on him.
I was.
He backs it up. He gives, it's a different vibe, but he gives me similar vibes to Mike McDaniel. I don't know why, but like,
I agree.
They give me the same type of vibe where they are just grateful for the opportunity because their coaching like trajectory wasn't as straightforward as some of these other people and as most people. And I think they're just grateful to be there, and so they make the most of it and just are themselves genuinely. And I think that's refreshing for the sport.
Let's talk about our sport. I am going to call my shot here, Paige. This is going to be, and I hope so, because we have to do a live show next week, and we want it to be chaos. So full transparency, it's good for business if this is a fucked up week of football,
yes.
All right? It's going to be a fucked up week of football.
Okay.
It is one of my favorite slates of the week.
Really?
Yes.
Of the
week. That's one of my favorite slates. It is. It's just, and not because it's the best games, but there are games on here, and many of them are in my locks, that I think are going to be hugely disruptive to the college football season.
Okay. That's
I don't know if you feel
that.
the same way.
I don't necessarily feel the same way, but I'm curious if you have my team in your locks in any way.
The Arizona?
Yes.
I do not.
Okay. I was just curious if you were betting on them.
No, you know what? I stared at that game for a while because it's an awesome game. And it's funny. It's on the Pac-12 network. God damn it. What a load of shit that network is. The only thing about the Pac-12 dying that I'm not going to miss is that fucking network because I can't.
Sorry to people that work there, by the way. But
what? No, the people are great. It's not their fault. It's many years of bad decisions.
So my family had to make the executive decision to get something that has Pac-12 network because basketball games are on Pac-12 network and we have to watch Arizona. So luckily most of their games are on like major networks, but we got to watch some of the conference. So
let me get this straight. The second most interesting game in the conference this week is a great game. It starts at 1:30 Central, which is the graveyard shift for college football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on a network that nobody here can get.
Yeah.
Larry Scott,
talk about guys that are getting paid to go away too, as well. He was paid a significant amount of money to go away.
He's on that Jimbo plan. They're going to start a band together.
How, I know maybe my moral compass would, keep me from being this way, but how do I get that gig? Where I'm they're like, you know what? You're not actually that good. We'll just pay you to go away, to do nothing.
I think all of my major games are in locks. I don't know if we could just go to locks and just
we can't go to locks.
A general
I'm not betting on Arizona,
discussion.
but I want Arizona to win that game so bad. I've talked about this so many times. There was a situation where Kyle Whittingham punted while he was up by 25 or 20 or something against Arizona in the last 5 years, and I've not forgotten it. And all I want is to beat him. It's all I want.
I'm gonna say though, I struggle because Whittingham has maximum dad vibes and just looks like a dad that's
he has
constantly
intense grandpa vibes where he's and I'm pretty sure he is a grandpa. He gives me your scary grandpa that you is at the gym every single day at 6 a.m, but has a soft spot deep down, but
doing some
is
fucked
a
up
hard
exercises.
But yeah, is a hard. He's flipping tires. Yeah. In the freezing cold in Utah, no shirt, being it's not cold outside. That's the vibes that he gives me.
Yeah,
so,
telling his grandkids all sorts of crazy shit that
But we're gonna put you out. He's what we're gonna do is we're gonna put you outside when you're 10. We're gonna put you outside with just a knife and leave you out there for the night.
And by the way, you're 3 miles away. Make your way home. Kill it, eat it. Right? What we talked about. Remember your training.
Yep.
That's it.
Those are the vibes.
All right.
This is a serious podcast. We get paid to do this. That's why it's so funny. Sometimes I laugh that you know what? It's good entertainment. That's what we're here for. We're here to make you guys laugh, cry.
HBO, what could go wrong? So, all right, Oregon State, Washington is in my locks. And I love Oregon State. This is a mega whale nuke play of Oregon State. I love Washington, by the way. I really like this Washington team. I love Penix, vested on the Heisman. Oregon State at home has been a beast. They are averaging like 5.3 yards per carry. Washington gives up a lot on the ground. The Washington defense just hasn't been the same since Oregon. Competition's gotten better too. Corvallis is a weird place to play. It's a tough place to play. Hey, just is danger zone. Not only does Oregon State win, I think they win this game by more than a touchdown. I think that this is emphatic.
Yeah.
In terms of victory.
I don't know, because Washington plays up to, like, they play up or down to their opponent, I feel like.
I agree.
And I think that, like, we've been waiting for them to lose, and they haven't. But to your point, if they do win this game, they better jump Florida State or I'm going to be pissed.
They should. This is a brutally tough game. Oregon State's really good.
It's so tough.
Oregon State at home, when we watched Utah play, and Utah did offensively, was struggling, not the same team, so maybe not a fair comparison. Like, it was bow constrictor. I think it's a matchup issue. Oregon State does a lot of things well that Washington, I think, would struggle with. This is a ball control game. The total is 63.5, which tells you they think it's going to be, 35, 33, whatever it would be. But I don't necessarily think so. I think Oregon State, it's kind of like watching UFC where you could see a fighter just wear somebody down, lead on them. And I think that if I'm Oregon State, that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping the Washington defense on the field, and I'm just trying to absolutely squeeze the life out of them slowly. Saban murder ball, whatever you want to call it.
Joyless murder ball, yes.
Joyless murder ball. What Michigan did, not that, but something like that.
Sorry, I just remembered I do need to say to Alabama fans, because last week I was very critical of them, and I said, win a game like Joyless murder ball, and they did it again. They started doing that. So I told you guys, if you win those games, you're going to be rewarded. So hopefully you will, and that head-to-head thing will go away, because I and team put Alabama over Texas. So there we go. Just had to speak my piece and say, I came down hard on you, but I'm back. Beat on your side.
I bet against Alabama last week. That was a bad
yeah, that was a bad idea.
There were some good business decisions. UCF, good business decision. Alabama,
by the way, lock of the week was taking Missouri. I was in Arizona, and my best friend's husband was like, give me your lock of the weekend to give out to everybody. And I was like, that Missouri one is a lock. Do it.
That was so easy.
It was the easiest.
I kind of talked about it too. The spread kind of freaked me out.
I didn't get it.
It was like,
don't get it.
I think Tennessee, by the way, is going to make things weird this week. It's not going to be a lock.
Ooh.
At least for the pod. But I think it's going to be.
You think they cover?
Go ahead. Yeah, I do. It's not a lock. This is not an official lock.
It's not a lock. Okay. I'm going to take UNC to cover. I think that Clemson still wins, but I'm going to take UNC to cover the 7 points. I think it's like a field goal game.
You're back on that? Like you're Go ahead. Here.
What?
No, I get it. Do you think
Clemson's gonna lose?
Oh man, I don't know anything about Clemson anymore. I got my one.
Even if they lose that win that bet, they're favored.
I know.
They're favored by a whole touchdown.
I don't know what to do with Dabo anymore, man. I had the one Notre Dame win, and I feel like that was it. Like we shook hands and we said we'll see you next year.
Okay, you're staying away from Clemson. Mine is just that I need to get back something from UNC, so they need to cover.
Oh, I like that. This is disgusting bet. Disgusting bet alert.
You're on that. Effect. Okay, and then by the way, disgusting bet.
Well, that's the perfect transition. Because I have a disgusting bet in the ACC.
Okay.
I don't know if it's as disgusting as when I bet Pitt versus Louisville earlier in the year. I like Miami +1 against Louisville. I am fading Louisville again. This is Christian Matt throwing some sort of like slimy, whatever you want to do. Just whatever you want to do. Sound effect. We're like, this is grotesque. Miami's going to beat Louisville.
I think so too. Like,
Miami
looks. Look at us being on the same page.
So we're both rolling in the mud. Wow.
Yeah, we're both gross. I think you stopped from calling us both pigs.
I did. I was like backing up the car, like no sir, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I saw a tweet from Iowa, and it was the Iowa basketball team, and one of their players I was in passing was holding a dog, and the Iowa Women's Social was like 2 dogs where they did like the bowl, like blow in the air, and I was like, well, can you do that? Because you're gonna get the comments like, do you really want to risk it? It was literally, no, I got away from the pigs, but I'm gonna lean into it. Pigs in mud. We are pigs in mud on this one. I can't believe you're taking this.
Pigs in a blanket. It all comes back to pigs in a blanket.
That was really funny. Yeah, you called me out. This is not your type of point spread, though.
It's not. I don't like things like this, but I genuinely was like, you know what? After watching Louisville, I'm like, I don't think they have it in them to even beat Florida State, and so I'm just like, forget it. Let's just remember that the ACC is bad.
I've got another disgusting one for you. Ohio State, Iowa State plus 7.5 versus Texas.
It's at Iowa State, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's a safe bet.
I think it's going to be close. Texas plays in close games now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just something.
Quinn's back. We don't know how he's going to look.
Yeah, they lost their Brooks, their leading rusher for Texas. I don't know. I think everything seemed to be hard. It's a really hard place to play. Texas plays close games. I think Iowa State has a chance to upset here. I'm telling you, like these first 3 games, Iowa State can win outright, Oregon State can win outright, and Miami could win outright. Would not shock me at all. And if that happens, it gets weird.
Are you ready for a disgusting bet on my end?
Yep. Like pigs in slop.
Washington plus 2.5 versus Oregon State. I'm sorry.
Why did you slow play it? You slow played it. So...
I just didn't. I know that the thing for me is like I always look for places to get value, and this is a great place to get value because everyone is thinking that Oregon State's going to beat them, and like I said, Washington just plays up to their opponent, and I know it's a hard place to play. I know home teams for the Pac-12 have done well this year. I think with playoff hopes on the line, you still gotta win this game.
It. That's right. We shake on it. We go our separate ways.
Yep.
Oh, we should do a bet. So we are actually going to be in New York on Monday.
Okay.
Where I think we're going to film the pod. But we can do a glass of wine bet. Is that what we're going to do here?
A shot bet. I know we're not. I've never had Malort's, but is there like an equivalent that we can get in New York?
Oh, I mean, I hate all that shit. So yeah. But like, why make it neat? No. Just want a nice
just a friendly glass of wine. Okay.
Right, yeah. Then we can say cheers, Pac-12.
Cheers, Pac-12.
I'll stay in the Pac-12, by the way. I like Washington State minus 4.5 versus Colorado.
Bums.
Colorado, I think, has got to be exhausted. This has been a really exhausting year from all the hype preseason to the hype early season to the downfall. Then they play really well and they lose. This is like a wave the white flag game. And Washington State played pretty well against Cal. I did hit that over thing. But I think Washington State, even though they've lost like a billion games in a row, they can get right here for at least a week.
All right. I like it.
You go.
Here's my next one. I'm going to take FAU to cover versus Tulane 9.5.
I actually have that in my locks of the week. I don't have it in my 5.
Did you take FAU to cover plus 9.5? Or did you go the opposite way? Wow, look at us feeling the vibes.
Yeah, like FAU. No. I know. Everybody's betting Tulane, and they're like another team that can't win by more than a touchdown. Every game they play is like 2 or 3 points.
Yep,
I dig it. I realize now. I think all my bets, my primary bets, are in. No, I got one Big 12 game. That's right. Virginia plus 3.5 versus Duke. Virginia doesn't have a lot of shit to show for 2 wins. They've played so much better. They have a quarterback that can move the ball. Duke is banged up. They were all very game against North Carolina, the game that I lost money on. This is a sneaky point spread. 2-win team versus a 6-win team. And the spread's only 3.5. I think Virginia doesn't just cover. I think they can win this game outright.
My last bet, I'm just gonna take the Cats money line. Just give me Arizona over Utah money line. Homer bet. We're doing it. I wasn't going to. I actually had another lock, but I was like, nah, we're gonna keep this.
No, I like that. I would actually like. If I were to bet that
I just
game,
need
I like
it for my for the end of the Pac-12. I need this. I need this win.
So, all right. There are locks. We will do game day upsets this week, of course, courtesy of Municipal, which has been a blast. So if you have an upset, make sure you send it along on Twitter on Saturday morning. We will be reading them, and I will be responding to gifts.
Shout out the Cats for beating Duke at Duke. I won a lot of money on that. Go Cats.
That's good.
So did Jason.
And,
so did neighbor Jason.
Cats.
I told neighbor Jason. Did he tell you?
I haven't talked to him about it. No, you guys are just conglomerate betting without me.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I told him. He said, "What are the vibes for that game?" And I was like, I mean this money line. Take it money line." And sure enough, Cats, baby.
They won.
At Duke.
Jesus, I feel left out.
Sorry.
It's a great win. It's great resume.
I thought he was hanging out with you, so I was like, okay, they're both gonna bet on this. But yeah, he got my betting advice on Arizona.
I should have. What other random shit? I know a bunch of folks that are in Vegas for the race. So
the race is this weekend. I'm actually really excited to react to that and everything that's been going on. The Netflix Cup, by the way, was actually pretty good. Like I said, it was a little chaotic. At the beginning, I was like, I don't know if I can watch this. But it was good. Anytime you have Marshawn Lynch doing anything and commentating and being around people, like, it's just good television anyway. So props to Netflix for pulling it off. But even just seeing like the hospitality aspect of that event, the stuff that's going to come out of this week is going to be insane. Like the setups that they have for all kinds of things are going to be nuts. I did see Lewis Hamilton said today that they do need to be mindful that they're not a circus just coming in and causing havoc. Like, they need to be respectful of people that actually live there. So that was interesting, because I think acknowledging that is the first step to them kind of fixing some of the errors of their ways. Because you've talked about it on this podcast about how, like, people aren't really thrilled locally about it. There's a lot of different things, but I'm excited to see it all play out. And I hope for a good race. The other thing is that, like, this is a new track, so maybe there will be, some change in the top, but I doubt it. But here we go. Let's try.
I'm excited to watch. No, I am. I'm excited to watch. I know people that are going. They're really excited. It's been amazing to see. I happen to look, like, what's the cost of staying at the Bellagio this weekend? It's like $120 now. They priced themselves out.
Yeah.
Like that, and by the way, that it's tough because there was so much hype, and I think it became this very exclusive event that a lot of people just said, like, I can't do this. And that'll change in the future, assuming it's a success, and I think it will be. But yeah, it's a spectacle. So I'm kind of excited to see it. Trying to think what else. No, I am. So my son is having a birthday party on Sunday, and we are doing a turkey bowl for his birthday.
Right.
It is the Poke Bowl because he loves Pokemon. I am coordinating this. So these are kids from like kindergarten to third grade. Right. We are doing a combine where you will run a 40-yard dash. You will long jump. You you will attempt to kick a field goal over the soccer goal. Okay.
Okay.
Right. We're going to do 3 cone drill, and then we're going to play games. And
is there any chance
my wife
that
we need a new stopwatch for this?
Oh, wow. So that's very serious. Is there any chance that maybe we could get you
new whistle too?
Is there any chance we could get video of you showing the kids what exactly they're going to be doing? And if so, could it be posted to our pod account?
First off, field goal kicking on that fucking dude. Okay? Like, just to let everybody know.
Put your money
know,
where your mouth is, all right? I want to see it then.
I
will text you. What day is this?
40. This will be Sunday.
Okay, I will text you to remind you.
I
need a video
of it. Kick a 40-yard. I could kick a 40-yard.
Is Jason going to be there?
Yeah, he'll be there.
Okay, I'll text to make sure that I get a video.
I don't think he knows this yet, but I think I need to help him coach. So he's probably going to find out in the pod that I need him. Because there's a lot of kids now. Like, everybody's coming to this thing, and, like, I'm a little nervous about it. It's going to be, it'll be a lot of fun. And Turkey Bowl, I did this for so many years. And it was, like, great with friends and whatnot. And we are, like, basically doing it as a party, walk, cake afterwards, all that fun shit. But,
all that fun shit.
All that fun shit. But yeah, we're going to kick field goals. We're going to run races. We're going to do all this stuff. And then we're going to play a little football.
Okay. I like it. But I'm ready for that video, and we will post it to our account, guys. Don't you worry. I will get it.
I will show you me kicking the fuck out of a field goal over the soccer goal.
Okay.
Like, that's my jam.
All right. I'm ready to see. That's it. All right.
So
watch us on Max on Tuesday for playoff reactions. Yeah. Especially if Washington wins and doesn't get ranked over Florida State. It'll be big.
Close up, just riding team.
See?
Yes, it's gonna be fun. We will be there. Excited to get back out to New York to do another show. And then with that, for Paige, I am Adam. We will talk to you guys